Yo, welcome back to the AW show. Yes, I'm in my car. As you know, I've been living in New York now a couple months, and I haven't been able to exactly pinpoint where I'm going to record because the baby's crying at the house. I ain't got no studio money as of yet, so I said, hey, fuck it. I'm going to go park the car somewhere and do it in the car. I got two microphones set up. I don't want to move the camera because I had to prop it under the owner's manual and a bunch of stuff. But you know what? The world lights itself. I brought a light and all this stuff, but hey, this is a pretty minimalist approach, and I think I'm gonna be doing this. If this picks up, I'm gonna be picking scenic little spots. You know, maybe put a little skyline in the background. But yeah. Anyways, this is a long time coming as far as video, so thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully the audio is coming through nice. We'll see which one works. But yeah, Seattle, thank you for pulling up this past weekend. It was a blast. Laughs Comedy Club. Also Portland. I got to go check out Tacoma for the first time, which was pretty dope. Last time I went to Seattle, people were like, bro, you got to come to Tacoma. Seattle, Tacoma is kind of like the Toronto, Mississauga, or I guess Toronto, Brampton almost. Not really New York, Brooklyn, but it's kind of that suburb / its own thing where they shit talk. I asked Tacoma people what they thought about Seattle, and they're like, yeah, they think they're big shots. It's too busy up there. Shit's too expensive up there. And then I asked Seattle what they thought about Tacoma, and they're like, we don't at all. And I'm like, okay, all right. We got the banter we need for stage. Let's go. But I actually got to go and check out the Le Mans or whatever car museum in Tacoma, which... that's one of those things that if I was there with my girl, I would have never done it because it's I forget what the entrance fee was. It was high. She probably would have been like, no, let's go do A, B, and C. But when you're on the road, just lingering solo like that, a car museum is the perfect time kill, especially when you're there hours before the check-in. They should let people just pay $40-$50 extra and just check in at 11 or noon. I don't know why they haven't done that yet, because so many times I've left hotels at 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m. So why not? So that means they probably take an hour to flip the room. So that room is just sitting there from 10 till 3. So why not make a little extra money, hotel people? That's a little tidbit for y'all in the hospitality industry. But yeah, man, this was a badass car museum, yo. 5 floors. It just kept going. It was like a bunker. It kept going further and further down. It's a lot of classic American old Dodge, a million Model Ts, and not even just American. What am I saying? They had the Lambo Miura. I don't know if that's how you even pronounce it, but some badass cars in there, yo. The shit that old white guys have when they get $100 million, and then they just start buying 1904 fucking Buicks and whatnot. All these old ass cars. This place was full of them. It was sick. I'm like, man, it made me think they do resto mods. And if you don't know, a resto mod is when they take an old car and they gut it and they pretty much put all modern and suspension, engine. So fuel economy is solid, steering is great, brakes are great, but it still has that old vibe. Broncos and old Jeeps, they do this shit with a lot. I'm like, man, they need to take that even further back to these old Model Ts. The only thing they have to do is switch out. A lot of them have wood rims still on the wheels, which obviously is not going to work. But put a new engine in, all the new suspension, brakes and everything, and give it some better wheels. But why not go back that far? That's some Jay Leno shit, you would think. But I haven't even seen Jay do that. It's probably just so expensive, and the only people who do that shit are those that created an app and have 1 billion now. Those are the only guys that do shit like that, if they like cars, which a lot of times they don't. Those billion guys that they look like me and they are developer and they just created something with obscene value, they end up just getting a little bit of whatever the nice stuff is in all industries. They go get the Patek Philippe, they go get the Hublot, they go get a Ferrari Testarossa, they get a couple waterfront, they just dabble in all of the finer things in life. But if you're a true gearhead that hits it big, man, I'm going to be doing some sick shit like that. Some pure Frankenstein projects. I'm amped for that. The place was dope. It had It had the Lotus. It had this old Lotus. I forget what the name of it was, but it looked like a pure copy of the Lambo Miura, which was like the Lambo was in like the second floor and the Lotus was on the third floor. And I'm like, the resemblance is uncanny. And I'm like, how is this not a lawsuit? Google Lotus that looks like Lambo Miura, and it's like, even the way that the rear windshield visor lines, everything. The interior was similar. By the way, that Brooklyn ASMR, enjoy that. Let's get in this right here. This is a little bit for y'all. Ooh. Oh, ooh, ooh. Let's see. Look at them back. Go. Oh, there they are. Yeah, this is pretty sick, huh? Next time I put on a lens that like, it's kind of zoomed in. So if I bring my other lens, I'll zoom out. There'll be a lot more of the activity. There's a crackhead right outside the car doing the Harlem Shake. There's Mexicans all over the place, chilling, families playing. Some guy selling some shit. It's alive. Bushwick, Brooklyn, boy. I'm right near my street. I'm not on my street because I know there's some creepos out there. And even if I was, how would you know? All you could see is this little patch right here and this. If you could figure out where the fuck I am from that, yo, you're on some Jason Bourne, Tom Cruise Mission Impossible shit. So call the CIA because they're looking for you. But yeah, I had a good time in Tacoma. I went out there. Now what I've been doing is, by the way, your boy's drinking a Dr. Pepper today. I think I'm going to be, I think with this new plan, it'll be a new can of pop or maybe even a juice sometimes. Every day it'll be something different. Dr. Pepper is one of those drinks that you have and it just reminds you of childhood. I don't know what it was, but it was it the 90s that it was super popular, or was it that something about being a kid, Dr. Pepper? Even though we didn't like doctors, something about that name. When I drink it, I just think of like my first Burger King meal in Canada. That's nice. Now I've been going on the road a lot. What I've been doing is going to mosques, going to the prayers, which you know, I grew up very Muslim and I kind of like pulled away for the last 10 years, but now I'm like, I like the community of it. I'm not even that religious. I just like going in, doing wudu, which is like you wash your hands, you wash your body before you do the prayer. And I just like to, you kind of get a vibe a little bit. Let's see who pulls up at the prayer. So you get a little bit of the demographics. They always say something. So Friday, all religions have a day. The Jews have Saturday, I guess. Christians have Sunday, and Muslims have Friday, which is hilarious because they clearly coordinated this, right? They're like, guys, on the weekend, we will get Friday, you Saturday, you Sunday, okay? Buddhism is like Wednesday, and they're like, fucking, are you stupid? I don't even know if it is. I'm just kidding. But I went in. It was nice. It wasn't a lot. All black. They're all Africans. 100%. Like, not one non-black. Mind you, it was like 15 people that showed up. Like I said, there's Friday prayer, which the whole community pulls up for. All ages, everybody. And then there's the other prayers. And if it's not Ramadan, which is, you know, the time of year Muslims fast, when you go to any other prayer that's not Friday prayer, it's pretty empty for the most part, especially the daytime ones. The nighttime ones, people are off work, so they have more attendance. But the daytime ones on a weekday, which I was there on a Thursday, the Dhuhr prayer, which is 1:30 on a Thursday, 15 people in there. Usually cab drivers. Like, my dad was a cab driver, so I know the demographics of who was in there. And it's like the really devoted guys. So there's one motherfucker that's just doing the in the corner, they're reading Quran and they're just doing the head thing. I call it the God rock, you know? Get some of that God rock in your life, boy. This guy we do the prayer, he turns around and he goes, brothers, we can go anytime. This life is not promised. We can go tomorrow. We can go in 9 days. What's important is that you continue. And then I zoned, like, I couldn't even hear him after that point because he was like 9 days. I was like, 9 days? Why 9 days? What the fuck? 9? That's so I thought he was going to say like 10 years. We can go in 1 or 216 hours. I was like, bro, what do you know? Like, what's going down? Let me in, doc. It was so weird. I literally couldn't even hear anything else he was saying. I was like, 9? I thought he was going to be like, you can go tomorrow. You can go in 20 years. God does not. I was like, 9 days. What the hell? But then I lingered back to Seattle. The show was fun. The hotel was dope. I linked up with the same Sudani guys that pulled up to the last show last year. went smoked some hookah with them. Every time Sudanis come to the show, which Sudanis usually make up like 10 to 20% of my shows. One guy actually messaged me on my Instagram. He goes, "Yo, is this show good if you're not Sudani?" I'm like, "Yeah, guy, it's mostly non-Sudanis at the imagine I was just talking about nothing but Sudani stuff for the 6 Sudani people that showed up or whatever it is." But yeah, a lot of times I end up smoking hookah with these people after the fact. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to hit the club, yeah? Which is literally, it's a lounge. So that's the African Muslim club, bro. Everyone is there. It's kind of like the badass scene. I did this like Boston. I did this Minneapolis. I did this DC. Now Seattle. And then we just shoot the shit. The one guy was working for Boeing. So I'm just like trying to figure out what's going on the inside on Boeing, you know? They got their big purchase order from Qatar, so which apparently Trump lined up. Who knows? We'll see. And then they're doing pretty good stock-wise. Not saying I got their stock, but let's just say I Google it. You know, when you go to Seattle, you gotta get a general idea of where Boeing is at, because that's their headquarters, along with Microsoft, and a lot of people are headquartered out in Seattle. There, good old the West Coast all has that same vibe of like straight heroin and tech. It's just heroin and tech and nothing really in between. It's very odd. Very odd. Portland, a little better though. First time I ever went to Portland, Oregon. Let me just say, both of these cities, Seattle and Portland, known for rain. When they're not raining, damn. Those are some dope ass cities. Especially Portland seemed like heaven on earth, yo. They had like tall redwoods or fir trees like the San Jose, like California style. The roads were immaculate. You could tell they don't ever really see snow or salt. People were hella. It was like white heaven out there. It was like 80% white. They all seemed like dollhouse building and collecting porcelain doll framing type of white, like old school. Not like when you think porcelain dolls, I guess there's a little bit of racism. That's like old school, like doilies and shit. But not that. That without the bigotry, if you could imagine it. That's Portland's vibe. That show was great. That show was at like an improv venue. Helium didn't want to fuck with your boy, so I had to book some. So although the show was fun and everyone showed up, there was like limitations just by the nature of the space. It's a very improv-y space. When you're in an improv-y space, they're very like PC, and there was a lot of like older white people at the show, as if it was like a fringe show, just watching me do my shit. And a couple Sudanis again right up front. This time, I didn't go. I just went back to the hotel and chilled. Did not link up with anyone. I was trying to go back because I had to wake up like 6 a.m. to make my flight back. But Kickstand Comedy was fun. The city is dope. I didn't get a chance to go. Next time when I do Helium for a weekend, probably go with whoever's opening in the middle act, like some local people. You need local people to show you the ropes, which I did not have in Portland, but it did feel like, but in Portland, let me say this. I caught the Friday prayer. Oh shit, the bus just blocked the light. And we're back. We are back. I caught the Friday prayer in Portland. Now that's what I'm talking about. Full packed. Portland has a big Somali population, I'll tell you that, because that place was all Somali. It was like almost 80% Somali in there, which I dope to see. I love seeing it. But what's funny is it made me think about the Friday prayers that I used to grow up going to, because those ones, I never realized in London, Ontario, where I grew up, the imam, which is like our father, our priest, whatever you want to call it, really good, very seasoned. I never realized how good of Friday prayers the guy was giving, because I didn't really have that much, to compare. But he never really looked at notes. He was always very engaged, lots of eye contact, and funny, like pretty riveting. Like they'll say a lot of stuff in it where a lot of people will laugh. They'll say a lot of stuff where a lot of people at once will go like, or a lot of people at once will be like, Alhamdulillah, which is like, thank God, like induces a reaction. This guy that did it in Portland, I could tell imams and comedians are not that different, yo. First of all, this guy was dying. The whole time I was watching, I was feeling for him. I'm like, he's reading the whole thing off a piece of paper. Dying, zero connection, barely making eye contact, just reading back a parable. and she was this and this was that. But what cracked me up though was I'm pretty sure this nigga chat GPT'd this sermon. I'm pretty sure because the guy was Fabi. Like he's probably an Egyptian guy. Arabic was he sounded like he moved here when he was 15 and he's 30 now. So he went, brothers and sisters, we were talking like this of the time and her hair was the color of the golden this and it was like this, like that type of vibe. At one point in his parable, he goes, and the benefits of that story are as follows. I'm like, nigga, what? Yo, that's how ChatGPT summarizes shit. You didn't write the benefits are as follows for like a fob dude. No way. I call AI, bro. That cracked me up, bro. AI, even these imams are getting lazy with it, man. But I was up there like, yo, this guy, he needs some more open mics. You know what I mean? He was doing a packed house, sold out pretty much. I was like, it's not ready for it, man. Not ready for it. But it was nice to see all the kids congregate outside. It reminded me of my youth, man. Now I'm beginning to understand what, historically, as I saw it growing up, people are like, they either stay religious or lose their religion and then get it back when they have kids. Usually, historically, it's they get it back so they can like be good examples for their kids. For me, I'm more getting it back, not to say I'm even becoming that religious, but I'm more getting it back for the sense of community. And like, hey, it's my tribe, right? I'm like, I can't deny that. Like the familiarity I feel and the kinship I feel in these mosque spaces. I love it, yo. I love it. I love a ceiling fan. Really, that's what it is. My whole youth growing up, I thought I was so close to God in a mosque. No, it's because I've always gone and sat right under a ceiling fan. Mosques always have ceiling fans. I just love a fan. I love a fan. And no matter who you are in the world, most Muslims at mosques are just sitting there. They're just judging the carpet. That's what we're all doing. We're all seated on the carpet, look, especially when it's kind of empty. So you can see big surface areas of carpet. And you're like, okay, I'm looking to the perimeters. Like, okay, they wrapped it. Okay. Good stuff. All the Muslims are, astaghfirullah, brother. You must listen to the words of this and not focus on the... Nigga, you know what I mean. You be looking at that carpet too. Sometimes they got little tape down there so you can know where to stand and stuff. But it was a blast. The Portland show was a blast, like I said, but the environment was a little PC, so hopefully next time I'll be able to get into helium or like the environment you're doing stand-up in kind of oddly dictates, it doesn't really dictate anything, but energetically it limits the confines of where you can go. There's some bits that I don't usually like to edit myself. Excuse me, that Dr. Pepper made its way back up. I keep holding it up like I'm sponsored by them. Energetically, I don't like to edit myself, but there's a couple bits that I did not do because I'm like, oh my God, like, I actually was afraid like maybe this venue is gonna withhold the pay because they handle, sometimes you handle ticketing, sometimes they handle ticketing, and I was like, first of all, the lady that came to find me had blue hair. She was like 60. She was like, there he is. We found him. It was some lady outside the venue. She goes, hi. I walked by her. I thought she was a crackhead. I thought I was like, okay, she's not tech. She's heroin. That was my first thought. Okay, heroin. Blue hair. Hi. She's just outside the venue around the corner. I just thought she was like going to ask me for money. And then I was like, yeah, hey, beautiful day. And then I go inside the venue. She's right behind me. She's like, I'm like, oh, you're with the venue. Oh, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. She's very engaging, I guess she books. She's a volunteer there. It's volunteer run, which is another red flag. When it's not operated like a legitimate business. Woo! She sat there with her, I'm gonna assume it was her wife, partner, whatever. She had blue hair. This chick had red hair. So it seemed like some sort of blood crip testament of unity. I don't know what it was, but they sat there watching the whole show and their smile faded. I did like an hour and two, but I thought at least I would engage with her after. Gone when I got off stage. I went straight, because I sell posters, I go straight to have a good night. The host comes back up, says blah 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 blah. I'm at the didn't even see her. I don't know if she dipped immediately before I even got to the posters or went through like the fire exit. I don't know, but this bitch disappeared. She had nothing. You know when they say if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all? Yeah, she took that to heart and disappeared like Houdini. Yo, she was gone. And I thought it was a solid set. It's funny when some of the older white people that are clearly like just there for a show, because it was Friday night, did not fuck with my shit. And then all other ranges. Not saying old white people don't, because a lot of them were like, great show. Some were like, they dragged me out here and I'm a fan now. Like all this type of like positive stuff. You can do your best show and there's people that don't fuck with it. So you just gotta kind of not let it get to you in any way. Anyways, it gets easier and easier anyways. And when some people talk shit, I actually like that because I usually makes it back into the show. I wish I could show you with a mirror setup right now. This scooter my guy's got 2 giant Mexican flags, bedazzled poles, LED lights up the wazoo. Like this guy, there's this scooter. He has to equip a whole other battery to light it the way. I need to bring another. I'm gonna have another camera in here soon, and just show you what I see because that was badass right there. That was badass. But yeah, Portland was fun. The West Coast was fun. I flew middle seat on Delta there and back. I thought Delta, I committed to you, man. All the freaking older comics are like, choose one airline, stick with them, build your loyalty points. And I did. I've been doing nothing but Delta for a minute now, and they still put me in the middle. I didn't pay for the outside seats because it always seems to work itself out. Middle seat there, middle seat back. And that fucked me up. Not to mention Zone 8 boarding. What happened with these zones? Like, what happened to, okay, active and military vets, board. Those who need help and kids, board. Okay, Sky members, board. Platinum members, board. Zone 1, Zone 2, and like Zone 3. Now it's all the things I said plus 8 zones. I don't understand. Not only that, but, dude, half the plane was in the gate still when they were on Zone 7. Like, I'm like, half the plane is Zone 8. Are they just humiliating us? What is it? What kind of power move is happening? Why is Zone 8 half the plane? What the fuck is going on? Why do we wait? Why did they break it up to this level? Zone 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they have 5 people apiece. Then Zone 8's like 120 people just all flooding in like refugees. Paper plates, asking for meals. Flying is getting more and more annoying, and it doesn't help the fact that planes are going down like every couple months. A plane goes down, baby. And it's like, what can you even do? What am I going to drive to Portland? 6 days there, 6 days back? Or whatever, with like staying at hotels and stuff? You have no option. To make this show, I have to risk my life. Now, obviously, I'm getting pretty melodramatic with this, but all the plane going down material that I do, if I go down on a plane, boy, ooh, at least it should go viral. It's not a weird thing to think about. That's your last thought. Like, oh, the plane bit's gonna go viral. Link in bio. Like, how do you get any sort of like, what happens when you die at this point? Is there a GoFundMe? Like, death by plane thing is very odd. You just hope for a lawsuit that, like a class action that gets your family good in 5 years or whatever it takes to hopefully find them guilty or whatever of negligence. You don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. I just hope they use a good photo for the news. That's it. Come on, baby. Give me a good photo. No selfies. Give me a good photo. Oh, my God. I mentioned this neighborhood's super Mexican. I love Mexicans, yo. I'm actually getting Duolingo to start learning Spanish. I just want to get in on these conversations they're having. I wonder what they're talking. I'm walking around so much Spanish on a daily basis that, like, I'm the type of guy, I like to walk by many conversations in here, like, and she told him this. Yeah, yo, fam, he ran up on him like this. Some of these people are UK rappers, I'm assuming. Or she did not. And I found out that, like, just little tidbits as you walk by. But with Spanish people, like, I'm like, I just want to learn some Spanish and know what these motherfuckers are saying. Not that I think nobody's talking about me. There's a lot of action happening. They don't give a fuck about me. Mexicans, bro, I finally understand Cat Williams' bit about Mexicans know how to enjoy their lives. Because we got a park here in Bushwick called Maria Hernandez Park. It's got volleyball net, soccer field, and some dog parks. We go there every day to walk the dog. It's like a couple minutes from the house. And it's pretty empty on the weekdays, but on the weekends, man, there's every inch is covered by Mexican family, Mexicans playing volleyball, soccer. Like, Mexicans work during the week and they enjoy their lives on the weekend. I love that shit. These guys play volleyball. There's like 50 people there. There's 10 people on the court at any time. There's people watching. Like, it's like a whole thing. And I'm like, damn. And it's very orchestrated. They come in the middle, they talk, they plan stuff, and then in the end they get to work. And despite all that, they're playing with a soccer ball. Like, the crazy organization involved, and no one got a volleyball. One sec, I gotta take this call. Hey, what's up?
Hey, boss.
Oh, I'm just in the car doing that goddamn podcast, mama. You're on the podcast right now. Do you want to say anything? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna wrap up. This is my whole life now. I'm just wrapping up. Okay, I'm coming back. Okay. All right, okay, bye. Oh my God, it's always something. But yeah, the point is that I need to learn Spanish ASAP because there's a lot of people a lot of shop owners here that barely even speak English. The hardware store, the pizza spot, they're all like Spanish. White people come in, speak Spanish. Black people speak Spanish. I'm coming in like some fucking Canadian tourist, like, hello, friend. I mean, I don't even want to say hola because, like, hola, amigo, because then maybe they'll speak Spanish. I don't want to lead them down that road, you know? So let's just say your boy's going to learn a little bit of Spanish soon, and I'm going to start figuring out what's happening here. I'm getting in with those cartels. And hablo del español. When I come by those Spanish stores, the news in Spanish sounds way more official too. Español, del diddy, del coming everywhere, del raping possibly, del Cassie, can't stop, won't stop. You're like, yo, I kind of pieced that together a little bit there. But New York in general, man, it's a vibe, yo. New York, I've been saying this on stage. New York is an amazing place to find out, like, you're not cool. You're not cool. Not only, I always thought I was the main character in my game, and now I'm like, I don't even know if I am. Because this nigga next to me has a sword and an X-Scar, like anime. You know what I mean? And I've watched enough anime to know that's the main character. I'm that guy that answers a random question, you know? He comes up to me, he's like, hey, how do I get out of the subway? And I go, walk left or walk right. The street will be in sight. Like, I'm a side character, baby, and I'm embracing it, you know? Learning the routes, carry a battery, battery brick on you just in case tourists have other main characters have dead batteries, phones. And they're like, you there, side character. Charge my phone so I can get back to my mission. Yes. Whether you want to trickle charge or speedy charge, recharge is whatever the rhyme would be. You got to rhyme, you know? Like that old wizard in the room that just waits there for you to come in. Like Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red. Those people you just walk up to, say some shit, and keep walking. That's me at this point, yo. That is me at this point. And you got to embrace that. You know? You got to embrace that. You see people walking in like every style of since 1900, since the Victorian era, someone is wearing it. There's someone literally in the subway right now dressed like a hunter-gatherer. Straight up. Just a fucking cloth, the long rectangle cloth over the cock, you know? And by the way, if you ever see those, I don't know if they're even accurate the way they dress those people, but they always have that cloth is always so long. Like, it makes you think like, when the tailor back then, you're like, give me an extra long cloth. They're like, but you have a micro penis. You're like, yeah, exactly. Make that cloth extra long, boy. That's what it is. These are the thoughts you have in a car as you rant. But I'm going to end it on that, y'all. From now on, I'm going to be doing the pod in the car. Thank y'all for coming out to Seattle and Portland. and Halifax, pull up. This Friday, I'm going to be there, which is going to be Eid al-Adha, Friday. Go do your stuff, see your family. Pull up, catch my show, 8 p.m. One show, 8 p.m. this Friday. And then St. John's, Newfoundland. I'm back, baby. 2 shows at Aaron's Pub, just like the last 3 years we've been doing it. 8 and 10 p.m. Saturday, June 7th. Catch them both, abbaswahab.com. And then BC at the end of the month. I'll talk to y'all soon. My girl's pissed. Peace.